too important I would like to talk about right now. Market's been kind of crazy last month, at least. We had a couple squeezes, right? Tesla went crazy. Amazon ripped through all-time high. Apple went all-time high. Microsoft went all-time high. Google went all-time high. Um, so, you know, I hope you've made some money. I know some guys in the day trading chat with me have done pretty well. So, that makes me happy. But, again, obviously it's not as good as I would like because I haven't been here live trading with you guys. Yeah, Duco, I could have made a year's worth of money if I would have just like swung Tesla, But in hindsight, things always look really good. And, you can only learn from it. I've made some good money on Tesla in this move, mainly day trading it. And it is what it is. Obviously, you may see stuff on Twitter or Reddit or whatnot of people making, turning 10,000 into 200,000 or whatever. I saw that today. Buying really far out of the money Tesla calls and just bag holding them. And is it possible? Yeah, of course, right? It's possible, but it's very unrealistic to catch a move like that. So maybe you do catch one or two of those in your entire career, but you shouldn't view trading like that, right? You shouldn't look to catch those 20, 30, 40% moves on a stock with far out of the money options and making a couple 1,000% return. That's just not realistic. That is basically winning the lottery in the market, right? So I always want to preach, take your base hits, right? Take your 10, 15, 20% gains over and over and over again, and they will add up. I can promise you, right? Especially if you're growing an account. Your gains will then exponentially grow when you can slowly size up. You don't want to size up instantly as your account grows. Get to a place where you're very comfortable. And then once you have a really big cushion from profits, from trading comfortably, you can then size up a little bit and then you go from there. Yeah, no, Duco, yeah, it's realistic in the Wall Street bets realm for sure. But 99% of those people lose money in the end. So we're here to try to make you guys the 1% that don't look to do that, But yeah, been fun. Miss you guys. Miss trading with you all. Learned a lot. It's definitely fun being on a floor with other traders for sure. But it kind of proves my point that anyone who thinks they're going to be a successful trader alone is delusional. You need other opinions. You need other ideas, right? You can only consume so much information, so much news. You can only have one idea, right? I mean, you could think, well, do you want to buy Tesla or do I want to sell Tesla? Someone else could have a completely opposite view on it, right? You can only buy or sell a stock, right? You can only go up or down. You need other people around you, other traders, to bring other ideas to the table, to bring other opinions, bring other tickers, and to also hold you accountable and trade with you, right? That's how you're going to get better, is by trading with other people. I would say a big reason why I've done so far really well at this, over the last 5-6 years, is because I've always traded with other people. And then once I started getting good enough to where I could teach, I'm dying. I'm not moving the chart around. Let's see if you can see this though. I bet you can. I'm just talking here for now, then I'll get into tickers and all that. Once I started teaching and stuff, it kind of proves my point. It's hard to tell someone I'm buying a stock here, my stop loss is here, and I'm looking to target this area, this price or whatever, and then not do it. Right? Preaching your rules and your process and your criteria, your entries, your exits, your stops, full transparency, right? I share my screen and talk through every second of every trade when I'm here with you guys. It's hard to do something else other than that, right? It's hard for me to tell you guys I'm buying here and I'm out here when really I wasn't doing that, right? It's much harder to do that rather than just doing exactly what you say. So I encourage a lot of you, especially new guys, find someone in here that you trade similar to, find someone you can work with, and try to grow, bounce ideas off each other. I can only do so much. You don't want to just sit here and blindly copy me. I want you guys to ask questions. There's no bad question. The only bad question are questions that aren't asked. Try to ask me as much. It doesn't matter if you think it's stupid or way too smart. I can promise I can answer it. It's my job. I'm here to help you guys, and it not only makes you better, it makes me better. So fire away. I got an hour here with you guys, so let's start it off. YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. You guys can ask questions as well. Go ahead. Nice, Duco. Well, good. Well, apparently you found something that's working for you, so try to critique that and get really good at it. I don't know who John is, Mousetrap. Nice, Geo. I love it, man. That's good. It's been, I don't want to say easy, but it hasn't been very hard to make money right now. Oh, Stock Wizard. Okay, nice. A lot of things have been going up, right? So, I mean, like we have Amazon. Amazon went from 190 up to 200. I would hope some of y'all know why this isn't breaking 200 very hard. When it does, like, when this specific piece of news comes out and it, the top gets blown off this and it goes 205 to, 210. If anyone knows the answer to that question, please say it. You get a gold star. If nobody knows it, then I'll answer it here in a second. But we have Amazon. We all know Tesla's gone absolutely crazy, right? We got Apple breaking new all-time highs this week. Microsoft went crazy. Google went crazy. What else? Netflix is setting up for a nice move. Lots and lots of things going on. So this is my kind of market. This is where I can make a lot of money, and this is where 1 or 2 months like this can honestly pay for the entire year. Okay, I mean, it definitely needs to do that, but this isn't a technical reason on Amazon. It's not technical. It's actually a piece of news that needs to come out. I've said it in the day trading chat. Is Tesla 300 possible again? It's up $100 in 1 month. It's definitely very possible. For Tesla specifically, so they have that robo-taxi event. That's Latvian. Good job. The robo-taxi event is August 8th, okay? 8/8. They're going to be talking about their new robo-taxi stuff. I can get into that if you guys want. But that's an event that could keep Tesla going for another month, right? Today is July 10th. So we're just a little under a month away from that event. So my expectation is Tesla, I do think you're going to see a red day here pretty soon. We almost had one today. I think at one point this will come down. Before then, I don't know how far. All right, let me just pull up the chart here for us. I think maybe like 250, 240, 245 down in this area would make sense. Then maybe we have a run back up. Do I think 300's out of the question? Not at all. I do think it can get up there. However, Geo, yeah, you're right on that. I do think that especially if this goes from 190, 180 area to 300 up into this event, you're going to see some sort of sell the news event, and this will come back down. I do think in the long run, this is good for Tesla, right? I mean, we all know what taxis are. So robo-taxi, and we also know that Tesla is like self-driving, autopilot type stuff. So a normal taxi service, part of the money, or when you pay the meter, goes to the driver, and the other part goes to the taxi company, right? Well, is there going to be a driver in a Tesla? No. So that piece of profit or revenue will then go straight to Tesla, right? So I think in the long run this will be good. However, I do think it's probably going to be a sell the news event because this has just ran so far. Unless this has some sort of dip before the event, and then you get some unexpected news on the robo-taxi event, that's when I think that's a scenario where I think Tesla can go back up. But Gio, to answer your question, I think 300 is doable. I don't think it's going to happen this week or next week or the week after. I think this does need a breather. But, who knows? Maybe some random news comes out on Tesla, tomorrow or next week. And this has another 50-point move, right? Very, very doable, right? This has gone, what is it? 80-ish points, 70 points in a matter of like a week and a half. So I can never say that that's out of the equation. However, is that what I'm expecting? No. But the most important thing of being a day trader or a trader in general is you don't know anything, right? We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen in 1 minute. Our job is to react to things and use risk management and buy good prices and sell better prices and make money when stocks go up and down, right? When you think about it that simply, it makes a lot of sense. But Latvian did answer that question. So a reason that Amazon isn't moving right now, and it's just, you'll see it. I'll put it on like a 30-minute chart here. It's just been stuck at 200, right? You'll see it just be stagnant at 200. We'll break through, then instantly come back down, and then sit around here and break through and come back down. And we fell really hard today, and we came right back to 200. So why is that? Well, if you guys do a little bit of research, Jeff Bezos came out and saying that he wants to sell $5 billion in stock. Not very surprising for me. Typically, when you see mega caps like Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Tesla, so Elon Musk did this a year or two ago, and Tesla's up at like their all-time highs. You'll see the CEOs, or at least the founders who have a bunch of ownership in the company, sell shares. Jeff Bezos still owns $200 billion worth of Amazon, and he's selling 5, right? So that's not even 5%. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal. However, in his sales contract, right, where he calls his broker, his bank, and says, I want to sell $5 billion worth, I don't want to sell a penny under $200 a share. So from a psychological perspective, what does that mean? Well, anytime Amazon gets above 200, nobody wants to buy it because they know that there's a whale, right, Jeff Bezos, selling shares. So they don't want to give him any better prices. And then when it's under 200, there's a pretty big chance it's going to come back to 200, right? We got to get rid of Jeff Bezos. But so I don't know the exact date, but about 2 years ago when Tesla was at all-time highs, Elon Musk was selling shares, right? And so the stock, once that came out publicly, Elon selling 10 billion or 5 billion or a billion or whatever it was, right? So for Amazon, for example, that's 25 million shares, right? So that's a lot of shares. It's not per se a lot of money, but that's a lot of money to be transacted in a short period of time, right? For one person. So it's hard to get. So when I sell something, someone else has to buy it, right? So that means $5 billion worth of Amazon stock has to be bought back by somebody else, whether it's you, me, a bank, an institution, a hedge fund, whatever. $5 billion, right? That's not a little bit of money. That's not a ton of money, but it's not a little bit. So it's going to take some time. So what I'm waiting for, and what I want all of you guys listening to really focus on here is when Jeff Bezos, especially because of the pattern we have here, right? We've had a really nice move up to 200, and we're just sitting here, right? 200, nice round whole number level. We have Jeff Bezos talking about it. Yeah, Farouk, that's exactly why the Amazon isn't really. I mean, yes, it's gone, $1 above, but it kind of it's like a magnet right now. When it's made public, which will be the day after, right? Because during the day you can't track that. At the end of the day, that's when all the statements come out. Like he sold $863 million yesterday. I don't know how much he sold today, but it kind of made me iffy on Amazon, thinking, okay, maybe like in a day or two, 863 million, call it $1 billion, right? That's 20% of the 5 billion he needs to sell. So we're about 20% of the way there. I don't know how much he sold today. Amazon came all the way down to 198 and finished today up by 200. So I doubt he sold that much. So the problem is all we're doing right now is waiting for it to be public that Jeff Bezos is done selling. When he's done selling, guys, Mark my words, the top is going to be blown off this. It is going to go parabolic. I'm not saying it's going to go to 250, but if it can go to 205 or 210, that's a beautiful move on Amazon, right? That's a 5% move on the stock. Another thing to keep in mind is Amazon has their Prime Day coming up next week. Okay, so Amazon Prime Day, I'm sure we all have at least heard of that. That's where all the deals and stuff are on Amazon. That is a catalyst for Amazon, right? That does bring a lot of customers, that brings a lot of revenue. So pretty much with a catalyst next week and Jeff Bezos, hopefully he's almost halfway selling shares. Once he's publicly done selling and with the catalyst coming up, those are just two really big events that are going to help this stock just blast off, right? And we have earnings August 1st, right? Nice, TK. You're a Prime member. Tell me what calls to buy. I mean, currently I'm still holding my swing. I signal. It looks like your news, so you probably missed that. I was buying Amazon around 195 and then a little bit of 197. I'm in the 200 calls for next week. I hate it because right now my contracts are losing value because Amazon's going nowhere. However, I'm still green, which I like, but not nearly as much as I was. I was up about 50% at one point, I believe. So I lost a lot of value because of time decay. So does that make me happy? Well, of course not, right? I've lost, I haven't actually lost any money, but I was up a lot more at one point. However, what I could do, and I think what I'm going to do, is sell for small profit maybe tomorrow, depending on how many shares he sold today. If he sold like another 100 million and pretty much nothing, what I will do is I'll sell for profit, which is small profit, whatever it is, 10 20%, and then probably buy 2 weeks out so I have enough time. The only reason I'm not worried about this, and I rather have contracts for farther out expiration as kind of a rake, right? So what I mean by that is I have those contracts for further out and I have plenty of time on them and they can move, so I'll have them when that day happens, right? But the reason I'm not antsy and really worried about it, and honestly not too mad at my swing, because I had the right idea and this was unexpected news, right? So that's the stock market for you. I know that I can day trade it that day, right? So I can probably make more than my swing day trading it, right? Because I'll use a lot more size, meaning a lot more, a bigger position size on the day trading side. And I'm just kind of holding those contracts to try to catch the entirety of the move, because I may scalp it for $2-3 here and then maybe another $2-3 here. But I also have that swing coming behind me, kind of raking up any bit of profit that I missed, and I can make money on both sides. Is this trade guaranteed? No, of course not. I think the probability of this, having a really nice move when Jeff Bezos is done selling, I think is extremely high. I would say 75 to 90% chance of happening the way that I think it's going to happen. Could a random news event happen and, an Amazon warehouse gets caught on fire, or Amazon is caught in fraud, or I don't know, just you can think of all different scenarios. Could that happen and make this stock completely tank? Sure, right? Sure, it could. I don't know what's going to happen, but my job as a trader is put myself in a good position to catch high odds moves. Okay. So are there any questions on that? I mean, that's kind of where I'm positioned right now. I've day traded Tesla a lot. I caught a little Netflix swing. I swung Microsoft. I day traded, Nvidia today a little bit. Day traded Amazon a couple times. Nothing too crazy. But this is my kind of market. But again, are there any questions on that swing, or why I'm doing it, or what I'm looking at? So to be clear, I'm in the 200 calls for July 19th. Thinking about selling for profit here and buying further out expiration, just because, like I was talking about, I would suspect that he's not even halfway done selling. So it's still just a waiting game. But this is Farouk, and Vans, you're in here. It's coiling up, right? That's how I like to explain it. It's coiling up. It's ready to make its move. It's kind of like a snake, right? It coils up. and then it strikes. And that's what I think is going to happen. And I think has a very high odds chance of happening. Um, Pretty crazily too. I think that the longer that this takes sitting here, the more anticipation comes in, and the more people are going to be wanting to buy on this breakout. And it could go for 2, 3, 4 days. So am I going to sell the swing on the first day that Amazon goes? No, I may trim it, right? If I have like 10 contracts, I may sell like 3 or 4, and then maybe another 2 or 3 the next day, and 3 the next. Nice, Vans. Well, again, that's a great point, Vans. Is that's the beauty of shares. There's no time decay. You don't have to worry about shares losing value if the stock goes nowhere. When you're in options, that is the price you pay for leveraging your money. Fed talk tomorrow. No Fed talk. There's CPI tomorrow morning, 1 hour before the market opens. So that's going to be an inflation report, consumer price index, pretty much just looking at the consumer price index. Think of it as like a basket of goods. For example, I don't know, eggs, milk, gas, wheat, a basket of just goods. I don't want to say just groceries, but you know what I mean. And it's basically just looking at the price of them, right? We all know like eggs, for example, and gas have gone up in value, right? So CPI went up, and that's what made the market fall quite a bit last year. So if CPI comes in, so the terms are cool and hot. If CPI comes in cool, meaning lower than expected, the market will go up. If CPI comes in hot, meaning inflation is not slowing down and it's either flat or going up even more, the market will probably take a hit. Terrence Caldwell, what expiration are you looking at for the 200 calls? I haven't really looked at my new contracts, but again, I'm in the 200 calls and I'm actually break even right here. My fill's 330 on those now. I was originally buying at 280 and kept adding into those as this was, going up. So I'll probably look at. I mean, I don't think it's going to take till August. I don't really want to buy. That's actually where earnings is. So no wonder those are up in value. I really don't want to buy. Maybe like the 210s for July 26th. I don't know. And honestly, I may even just hold on to what I have because the closer expiration, yeah, they're going to be a little bit cheaper, but percentage wise, I can make a ton, right? I know you guys probably can't see these numbers on my screen, but the 200 calls right now are $340, right? 3.40. If Amazon moves $5, they're worth $655. So that's roughly 100% gain. So if I get a move from 200 to 205 at the end of this week or early next week, I can make about 100%, maybe even more. If I get a $10 move, I can make 200 to 300%. So honestly, again, it's not for sure if I'm going to sell and buy further out expiration, but I'm considering it because I don't know how quickly he's going to be done. Terrence, well, nice. I'm in the same contracts as you. So my dilemma right now is, do I get out on these and buy later on? I don't know. The only reason I'm even considering this is because I've lost value on these because it's gone flat for 4 or 5 days. So we'll see what happens. May I know if there is a free options prediction of prices like you just showed? Farouk, what do you mean? There's a free options prediction of prices. Well, so what you can do if you want to like predict where prices will be, like option prices will be per like move on the stock. Yeah. Yeah, he's asking about. So if you look up, I'll type it in the chat. Options profit calculator. You can do that. Yeah. So Duco, or sorry, Farouk, you'll really like that. Knowing you, I know you're gonna love that. But just know the options profit calculator has no idea where the stock is gonna go. It just calculates where it'll be, and it'll even give you like expirations. Like today's July 10th. So on July 11th at 2:01, Amazon 200 call will be at this price. On July 12th, it'll be this price. On July 15th, it'll be this price. So it'll show you the time decay as well at the same stock price, but obviously the option price will change. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, you're gonna love that. I feel like I've talked about that before, but maybe you missed it. I don't know, but there you go. You're gonna love that. Yeah, there's another one too. What's that? Expiration 8/16, IBM. What is that, Latvia? Is that a trade you're in? Oh, simulate returns. Okay, cool. What else you guys got for me? What other questions? Any other tickers? We're about halfway through. I don't really have some great setups for y'all. I mean, all the moves have kind of happened. I talked about these over and over and over again, kind of before the move happened. I don't know if you guys follow the Penny Boys Instagram, but I was like even posting on Instagram about Tesla at 190. Let's see here. Yeah, please go follow, guys. Please go follow. Surprised there's not much traction there. All right, Mr. Salad, Walmart. What about it? Hey, if you guys want me to go over tickers, give me some sort of idea behind it. I want to buy. I want to sell. I'm in here. I want. I'm looking to do this. So, because if you just throw a ticker at me, I can just be like, yeah, Walmart's strong. It's at $70. You know what I mean? The live streams, do you only go over options or do you also go over penny stocks and other equities? I've just never gotten into options. I would like to learn how, but I just haven't. Thanks. I mean, should. Yeah. So I'm Alex. I'm specifically like an options trader. That it's just what I do. I'm an options day trader. The same principles that I do teach on like price action, volume, where to buy, where to sell, price levels, support resistance, blah, 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 all that stuff. It does correlate with equities trading, right? Where you're actually buying shares. However, I don't look at penny stocks. You're going to come to learn that I only trade the same basket of names. I only trade the big mega cap names, right? Apple, Tesla, Amazon, Nvidia, Microsoft, Google, Netflix, those kind of things, right? So only the big names. I don't look at penny stocks. It's just not my thing. To me, that's a quote from some traders that I've learned from is you're trying to trade realistically on an unrealistic stock. If a stock that's worth $1 billion moves 200% in a day and it's worth $3 billion, well, why? I got a little piece of news that doesn't really make sense to me. It's probably going to come down. If I was forced to trade penny stocks, I would be looking to short them every single time. Wait for the big move up. Try to short small, and then once that thing cracks and really gets hit hard, that's where you just press it. But yeah, Alex. So I know you're new, but yeah, we'll get to it. Ed. Jumina. Let's see here. So Jumia. Yeah, I mean, this has been really strong. It's always been very popular. I think that you don't want to be a guy shorting this. I mean, you didn't really give me a trade idea there, but yeah, I would want to be a buyer for sure. I do think that this has a chance to get over that $12.50 level and then up to that $15 level for sure. So I think that does look good. Is it something that I'm looking to trade? No, not personally, but it doesn't mean it's a bad trade. You're swinging NVIDIA tomorrow. Okay. 140 calls. Yeah, I mean, I think NVIDIA's doing really well, Farouk, so I think that'll work out. ENJ. Bag holder, bad decision, want to get out thoughts. Well, where are you averaged, Safins? Where's your average price? I'm guessing you're a buyer, probably up in this 24, 25 area. $3. It's a E and J is $21. It shows for me. Let's see here. I saw Vance had something good. Yeah, thoughts on Meta. Yeah, so Vance, Meta is going to be my top watch for tomorrow. Oh man, it hit it today. Oh wait, it opened up there. Wait, what? Oh, I was on the weekly chart. My bad. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching Meta through 540. This move, I believe that was Friday after the 4th of July. There was no substance behind the move. From what I saw online, it was like Meta up, 5, 6, 8% after Zuckerberg posts a video wakeboarding with an American flag, right? So there wasn't much there. So like the next day, I had a lot of people asking, like, do we buy Meta? And I'm like, no, I'm not looking to buy Meta whatsoever. This is up almost on no reason. Sure enough, it came back down like 10 points. We've based out here. We're starting. So the original all-time high was 531.50. That you'll see here. So I really like this, right? We broke out strong, came back in. We're holding 530, bouncing back up. I would love to play 540 into the all-time high, like 542, whatever it is. Do I want to be buying it here? No. I'm simply just going to wait for like 539 here. Buy in kind of up near 540. If we break through 540 with volume, looking for that 542 break, and then probably going to look to get out around 545. So if I can catch a $5 move on Meta, I will be very, very happy. I'm in ASNS. Okay. I hope you didn't buy up in here on ASNS. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what these pops are. I don't really know anything about this company. It's not a typical stock that I would trade. I think maybe it has potential. My advice to you would be, if you get in the green again or close to break even, probably just at least sell some, like, please. Duco, I can't tell if you're messing with me. Probably not. Okay, you're not. So BBC, in a long call. I don't know anything about the company. However, I do like this technical wise. Back through 28 and through this $30 level, to me, looks really good. Oh, sorry, Ro. I guess I missed it. I just popped in. Are you still at your internship? Yeah, I got 1 more or 2 more days. I'll be back on Monday. What else? Can you talk about Snow? It's gotten beaten down all week. Yeah, so Snow had that hack in the last month or two. There was some sort of hack that obviously wasn't very good for the company. It's got beaten down. I mean, do I think this company is going nowhere? No. However, is there a trade for it right now? For me personally, no. I'm really not interested in it. I would, however, I'm a breakdown or breakout guy, right? I want things breaking resistance or breaking support. So pretty much I'm just going to be waiting for this 120 level. If it comes around here, I would be interested in shorting it through 120, then also 110, right? Because I think that through 120, you got that 110 level, and then you could probably see that $100 level down here. Sorry, on Twitter here. What's your watch on Tesla? I'm starting to lose interest in Tesla right now simply because it's moved so much in the last week. I'm going to wait for it to finally have that pullback day and then look to trade it back to the upside. And I would honestly even look to maybe take advantage of that one day where it almost gets rug pulled and then it's just done for. You know what I mean? So for right now, I'm going to try to take my hands off. I've made some really good money on this Tesla move. The last thing I want to do is keep forcing it, right? That's where you get greedy. That's where you try to keep buying it, it's the strongest stock in the world. It's going to keep going. And then that one day it pulls back on you and you just keep buying and buying and buying, and then you get blown up. You know what I mean? So when I catch a couple really nice trades on a nice move on a stock, toward the end, after 3, 4, 5, 6 really good trades on it, I'm thinking, all right, man, it could go even higher. I don't really care. I don't want to get greedy because I don't want to give any of my money back. Could I make a little bit more? Sure. But my job is to catch the bulk of that move, right? The middle of that move. I don't want to be the first guy buying or the last guy buying, or the last guy selling. I want to catch that middle safe part of the move where I can put some real size on there and run away with my money. Let's see. Sorry. Oh, EJH. If you're in at $3, I don't know. Looks like a household name. I don't know. I mean, it's at $1. It's done nothing for 3 years. So the problem is, do you want to just hold it and see if maybe? Hang on. Let me do something like this here. Well, it looks like back here in 2023, there was a move from 4 to 25. So honestly, excuse me, I think, if you don't need the money, maybe just hold on to it. I mean, that's terrible advice, I feel like, because I never want to tell anyone just hold on to a losing position. But it's if you can hold on to it and it's not going to affect your life, or you can hold it for another year or so and wait for maybe a little bit of news to come into this, some good news, and you get that pop to 2.5, 3, maybe $4, maybe $5, and you actually make money, I would do that. The next pop, though, don't be that guy thinking it's, oh my God, this is the time it's going to go to $100 a share. Don't be that guy, right? Take the profit, take the break even, take the small loss, because you're down about 30% right now. Let's see. IBM to, sorry guys, I'm way behind on these chats here. IBM to 180. Oh yeah, I think that's very, very doable. I think, let's see, there's more of a gap in here as well. Let's see, the gap ends about 84. So yeah, I think 180 is doable. Do I know if it's going to happen tomorrow? No. I think you had a nice dip here today. Let me zoom in on this so y'all can see it. I think you had a nice dip today. Or you can see we opened here 176.5, fell down to about 124.5, or sorry, 174.5, and then we got bought all the way back up and closed up here. So I mean, honestly, you can kind of see this pattern here. I mean, we got the uptrend and you kind of have the flat top. So to me, this looks really great for a move to 180. So Latvian, I do like that. Thoughts on Costco? I've seen that in the news a little bit. Looks like a really strong stock. Do I want to be buying it up here? No. Would I like to buy it on a dip? Sure. That's pretty much all I can tell you. It's a strong stock. I'm not going to be the guy thinking or wanting to try to short it, right? Wanting it to go down. No, I don't want that. So yeah, on YouTube, do you think when companies acquire new companies, the stock value rises? If it's a good company, yeah, I think typically most of the time when, let's say Nike acquires Adidas, yeah, I do think that would be good news for Nike. I've never traded Nike, just started a position today. Is this a slow mover? Calls seem to be a bit cheap. Yeah, Nike is a slow mover, 100%. But you don't need me to tell you that. Go look at the chart and look. So a slow mover, meaning it's what is it, around an $80 stock or whatever, if I remember correctly. Look at ATR, average true range. What's the range on average that stock specifically trades in a day? That's what you want to look at. And then obviously, if they're really cheap contracts, typically they're not going to move a whole lot. All right, what else? Duco, I love snow. Wait for the bottom and curl up. I would have more fun. What else? Yeah, I took a small loss on Microsoft. Okay. Membership. Okay, nice, Geo. Yeah, IBM. Yeah, that actually looks really good. Cisco is competing with Sam's Club for removing platinum perks. Okay. Nice. See, but guys, these are great examples. This is why you need to be trading with people, and you need to want to be, you get out what you put in, right? The more that you're looking at news and sharing things with people, the more they're going to want to share and help you out as well. So I love this here. I mean, I didn't see that news specifically. I may have briefly saw it and forgot about it because I'm looking at so many things all day. But this is the reason why you need to trade with a community, whether it's in person or on Discord. You say crowd breakout has failed and is now on its way down, and it's still coiling up. So Vans, that's interesting. Yeah. So crowd that day was pretty crazy when it dropped like 20 points. I do have a feeling that this is probably done. Typically, when you see failed breakouts like that, especially at a whole number like 400, probably gonna hit the road for a little bit. Is it guaranteed? Could it bounce up here and give it another shot? Sure. The only thing that I'm looking at now is this. You got a gap here from like 365 down to 350, $15 gap. If this, maybe a little bad cat, this did have some elevated volume today as well. If this comes back in here, I would maybe look for this to bounce around this 350, 360 area. But those failed breakouts were really bad. So yeah, I mean, honestly, it's kind of hard to tell. To me, like when you have a really good pattern that's setting up, like I think ARM was one, for example. I used to have, and it ended up working really nicely, I think. Oh, no, it didn't. Here we go. So here's actually two beautiful examples. So ARM, kind of like in this area here, I don't know. I don't remember how I drew it here, but maybe something like this, and then maybe something like this, right? So we kind of had a wedge here, and I was wanting this to break out and go down. My idea wasn't to the downside. Yeah, did it work? Sure. But then it just fell and then it didn't do anything. So I was like, okay, well, that pattern kind of failed, right? And it looked like a bull flag pattern, right? Big move up, consolidation, looking for another move. This failed. I move on, didn't take the trade. Made its way back up slowly. And then you kind of have the same pattern, but just on smaller time frames, right? You kind of have a little something like this, right? Little wedge came in here, move up, coiled up, and then this one actually worked. So for crowd, it's like the setup, was it there? Yes. Did it fail? Yes. And that's just part of trading. Most of the time, those patterns will end up working out if they're on big time frames, on big liquid stocks that a lot of people are going to be trading. So a lot of people are going to be looking at the same pattern. Does it guarantee they're going to work? No, of course not. But when a pattern fails, like that for me, like the pattern doesn't look as good anymore, I just say screw it. Why try to force it? It's not meeting my criteria anymore. Do I have to put money into it? Do I have to try to trade it? No. If ask yourself on every trade, am I willing to lose on this? If it's a good enough trade where you're willing to lose money, by all means take it. If you're only thinking about making money, then that's where you're going to lose the most because you're not mentally prepared for losing. Thoughts on Visa, short-term bullish or bearish? So for me right now, I wouldn't pick a side. It obviously doesn't look that great. However, the bank earnings are coming up on Friday this week, and we have Visa has earnings on the 23rd of this month. So I would just wait. I wouldn't look to try to take a swing trade or anything right now. I would let the bank earnings, when Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Bank of America, Citibank, all those guys, when they report, that's going to be some sort of indicator for the credit card companies as well. And then maybe there's a trade there. Ethan, what's your favorite setup or pattern? I don't necessarily have a favorite. I'm a breakout trader, so I'm not looking to buy bounces and try to short pops. So that's a reversal trader. I am a breakout trader, so I'm looking for ideal setups for me are going to be Apple like this. Like you move up and you get a breakout here. Like I made some money here. This was, if you go on the weekly chart here, big reason why I traded Apple above 200, bounce off 200, bounce off 200 to break through. I'm involved in this area. Couldn't care less what it does in here. I want to be involved up here. Obviously another one, Tesla, right? Tesla did pretty much nothing for like 2 months. got some good news, got a catalyst, boom, boom. Um, right. And I love break and retest as well when things break out. That's so just like Vans brought up Meta. So that's a reason I'm going to be watching Meta, um, tomorrow and then for the next coming days, right? So we kind of broke out on this 530 level almost for no reason. Okay. So we had that crazy run, but it's a lot of strength there. So not surprised at the pullback the next day. And then we held, and then we held again today. So that's like a break and a retest of the all-time high, right? The all-time high way back here, right? So we broke through, we're retesting the same area now. I'll draw it for you here. Right? Broke, retest, same area. So now I'm looking for this back through 540, and that's kind of where it can go 550, 560. So those are good setups for me as well. So I know that was again a kind of I always answer that very broadly, but what I've talked about for a while is just kind of finding your style, right? So like I don't have a very 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 rigid criteria. To me, it's more on conviction, experience, and just kind of confidence. It's not like I'm overconfident myself. Right? I've taken plenty of bad trades. I've taken plenty of good trades. But I have also accepted the fact that I know what looks good for me, over years and years and years of making mistakes, right? Finding out, I'm not really good at trading bounce trades. I'm not really good at selling pops. I'm not really good with penny stocks. I'm not really good at swinging a lot of the times. Mentally, emotionally, all those factors are factors I've brought into the equation. And over time, it's kind of like, chipping away at that stone, or, however you want to think about it, right? Making a sculpture. It's like chipping away and taking off all the bad things that I just over time realize I'm not good at. And you can't trade one specific strategy one day, not make money, and just throw it to the side. You kind of have to mold a specific way. Yeah, yeah, that is true. But you just over time, you're going to figure out what you're good at, and you just stick to it. To be successful and to make a lot of money trading, of course, you're going to need money to do that. The hard part is knowing what to do in the market, right? You can always add another zero on a screen, right? The numbers don't matter. Once you get to the point where it's not so much about P&L, it's about the quality of the trades that you take. Some of the best traders ever in history would take 2-3 trades a year. But rather than taking 5,000 trades with $1,000 position size, they're going to take 2 or 3 trades with, $50 million and make 1, 2, 3 times their money, or, whatever it is. So I urge you, and I was the same way, guys. I took multiple trades a day all the time because I thought that's how I was going to make the most money. And that is actually the opposite. Less is more in trading, for sure. It's so much easier, and you can actually make a lot more money by sitting back and looking for 1 or 2 good trades a week rather than trying to find 1 or 2 good trades a day. Well, Duco, then maybe that's your style, especially for your lifestyle outside of trading, right? You have a full-time job. It's kind of hard for you to like put 100% of your focus into this, and that's really what it takes. Right? Yeah, exactly. So I think the odds are much more in the market's favor to take your money when you don't have the time to focus and all that stuff. Vans, I see, that just makes me so happy. You are the star student. You've worked really hard, and but again, it doesn't matter what style of trading you are. There's always going to be principles to it. Yeah, definitely. Here we go. I love it. But it's, as I'm sure that you can attest to. I mean, it took losses, right? It took tough times. It took critiquing. It took homework. It took working outside of the market. And then, like you said, cutting down your trades, looking for quality setups, knowing when to stay cash. You're only going to get good at trading when you put the work in, you know? I remember being, for the first year at least, I would be the guy getting up 15 minutes before the market opened, being in some sort of chat room and trying to listen to this random dude tell me buy XYZ. I had no idea why I was buying it, where to buy it, why he's buying it. And then after losing and losing and losing, I was like, look, if I actually want to do this and I think it's the coolest job in the world, you're going to have to, it's like being a professional. Once, I don't know who it was or where I heard it, but it was like, this is a profession. It's like being a professional athlete. You just click buttons and time the markets, which is one of the hardest things in the world to do. If you think that you're going to get up at, 5 minutes before the open and listen to, Johnny John over there and what's up, Wyatt? And, buy a stock because he tells you to, you're never going to be good at it in the long run. So at the end of the day, they're probably not going to be trading with you for the rest of your career, right? So your job is to learn how to do this on your own, but it's going to take work. And I realized that being on a trading floor, those guys are having meetings and already have looked at 100 emails by the time that I'm rolling out of bed, on a typical day. So that's when everything changed. Knowing that those are the guys I'm going up against, Well, we got about 5 more minutes here, guys. I'm probably just going to be watching the same names: Amazon, Meta, Tesla tomorrow, maybe Nvidia, Microsoft closed pretty well. Just the big caps, they've been moving well. I'm gonna just keep watching those. There's no A+ setup. I think Meta is probably the best setup. I'm probably just gonna stay away from Tesla because it's had such a crazy run. Other than that, just gonna take it easy. Coming into the end of the week. I'll be live trading with you guys next week, so don't blow up an account before Monday, please. And things will be back to typically summer is very slow. We've had actually a very exciting summer in the market, and to throw into that, it's an election year. So the closer we get to an election, typically things slow down, and things have sped up. But I think they're probably going to slow down very rapidly. Oh no, Duco. Yeah, Vance, me too. Siphons, yes, thank you. Zach, yeah. Yeah, Stickman. Who knows, man? I couldn't tell you what's gonna happen tomorrow. So I'm just kind of taking it a day at a time. Yeah, I would do that. All right, guys. Well, any last minute questions, or y'all want to call it a night? My premium lesson is tomorrow night as well because this one got moved to tonight. So. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. It's always good. Again, I'll say it again. Monday, I'm back for good. So let's make some money, guys. Get some sleep. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Later.